so she's a Scrantorian again. But they want people who are actually getting taxed by the city, wherever their tax dollars come from, and pays the city. And then you still got cops running around talking about, oh, everybody's a fucking nigger, a sand nigger, and all this other shit. It's supposed to be the day at 5 o'clock. This shit gonna be some heated ass shit, man. I hope it is. What up, what up, what up, what up? Bro, I got some crazy shit to tell you this morning, yo. Oh, one good thing, I got my fucking walking boot. Damn, I ain't never look at the bottom of that shit, yo. I got Jordan fucking soles on this shit, nigga. I might play basketball in these joints. You see that shit? That's a mountain hiking sole right there, bro. It's technology, high tech. Oh, man. Oh, damn, I can't. How come I can't see? Oh, well, maybe if it's in the email, of course, which I deleted. Trash. No. Cheverly, Maryland? Is that what the fuck that should say? Cheverly?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I shipped to you yesterday.
785. I think that's closer to like Jessup and shit.
But I don't know. That's the 2 people from Maryland ordered my shit.
Yeah, I remember it was a guy and that person.
Yeah. So I guess there's a lot of good artists in Maryland. They have a pretty good art community down there.
Yeah.
I need more local artists to buy my shit. If I get local artists to buy it, then I can. I was gonna make a commercial for my product, and then the producer from my TV show said, you know, in a commercial you should actually have like customer testimony, or you know, have some other people actually saying something and using the product. But there's not enough local people around to like who have my product to say, oh, this is wonderful. You should buy this from Travis, and they would have put them in my commercial and shit. So need more local people to actually use my product, and so they can endorse it for me. Like, all right, it's like what, 7 something, 8 something in the morning. You guys are watching some dude in his art studio. That's like, you're a fucking nerd. You know that? So we got some disturbing news in the past couple of days about one of our local police departments using derogatory and racial terms to identify the people they're supposed to protect and serve. And this shit is hard copy, proof, hard proof of this shit, yo. Not just some hearsay shit. Motherfucker got hard proof on it. Now we about to sit down with the city officials and be like, yo, how the fuck y'all letting this shit go on, yo? Is this the type of culture and environment you guys incubate and facilitate here in the great city of Scranton? Just the kind of shit y'all do? But I already, like, when we were discussing it and going over the files and stuff, it was like, yo, D1, what up, pimpin'? We was going over the files and stuff. My first thing that I thought of was like, this was this year or late last year? Had to be this year. It was a news story about a young black kid getting hired to our local police department. You know what I'm saying? Now, if a minority getting a job at your police department is newsworthy, then there's something wrong with your police department. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look what we're doing. We just hired a black guy. It's like, why are you bragging about that? You know? Oh, because we're only white officers here? Yes, that's why. That's why you have to make it a public announcement and put it in the paper. See, we hired a black officer. And then when all these allegations and shit come out, it's like, that shit does not fucking surprise me at all, yo. It doesn't surprise me at all. It's a fucking good old boys club. You know? My main man, D1. You getting ready for work or you home, bro? Are you still at work? I can't tell with your ass, nigga. You work all the fucking time. Had somebody hit me up for some art too, yo. Oh, it's so beautiful. Your work is so amazing. I hit them with that price, and then the first thing they think to themselves, oh, nigga, that shit ain't worth that much. You know, to me it is. Hit them with that price. They're like, nah, I'm good. No response. Got no response back. Not even to say that, oh, that's a little bit out of my budget. Most people be too ashamed to say that shit. That, oh, I can't afford that right now. And I get it. Shit, I can't afford that shit right now neither. I can't go out and buy a $5,000 painting no matter how bad I wanted that shit. Somebody had an original Basquiat. I only want $5,000 for it. I ain't got that shit to go buy a painting, nigga. I can't buy that shit. I'll be broke as shit. Hey, go sit down. You all sniffing up my butt. Alright, let's go over some of these documentations real quick. So I take y'all to my so this is my private messenger. You can see right here, this is the Black Scranton board. This is our chat for our board members only. I'm letting y'all in on like some inside shit that I'm really supposed to be. But it's all good though, cause y'all part of the fam. Where's the documents at? Where's the documents? Okay, here they go. Here they go. You see this shit right here? See, we got this shit floating around. Now this shit is on. This is actually on the internet. This came from somebody else's Facebook page. Um, and it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages of a police report, yo. Oliver, Price, and Rose. Oh no, this comes from the lawyer, I guess, from the lawsuit. Chief Carl Garzalo. Reason for investigation. In mid-December, I was assigned to conduct an internal investigation into Corporal Thomas McDonald regarding text messages that had been recovered by the Pennsylvania State Police during an investigation. The text messages contained racially derogatory words and phrases to describe Black/African American, Hispanic/Latino, and Middle Eastern people. And so the officer himself, this nigga got mad because he said, the investigation wasn't even about his phone to start with. They were investigating some other shit, and they needed to go through his phone logs. And going through his phone logs, they found all this shit, yo. Details. As a part of an ongoing criminal investigation being conducted by the Pennsylvania State Police, investigators recovered a cell phone from a Scranton Police Department vehicle used by Special Investigations Division. The vehicle was used by Corporal McDonald as a part of his duties in the SID officer. The phone that was covered was an old phone. So it's abbreviation CPL. Is that corporal or captain? That has to be corporal. What else does it say? But this dude, he goes on to make a statement himself. And they got all these text messages. I received a disc containing 8,381 pages of text messages from several people. These pages of text span from 12/30/16 to 9/20/18. These pages contain 7,940 chats, including those that appear to have been typed during work hours. During the course of my investigation, I have reviewed the chats and identified the following number of racist words or phrases in the groups they appear to refer to. They appear to have been sent from phone numbers either currently used or previously used by you. All right, negative terms towards Black and African Americans, 76. Terms towards Hispanic and Latinos, 6 different phrases, and Middle Eastern people, 3 different phrases. Based on my results and to further the internal investigation, I am ordering you to answer the following questions. As this is an administrative matter, you are required to answer these questions truthfully and completely, or you may be subject to disciplinary action and up to including dismissal. All right, so, but they have the dude wrote out his handwritten statements, but then one of our board members translated the handwritten statements. So McDonald said, so question number 7 to him was, do you have anything to add pertaining to this interview? The police officer, this is his own handwriting, said, I am aware that making those comments were inappropriate and unprofessional and never should have been sent. However, these types of comments are made on a daily basis here at the Scranton Police Department. This is the culture at this department. During my career, I have heard these same types of comments made by patrolmen all the way up to supervisors, and not once do I recall anyone taking offense or trying to correct that behavior. If it was not for a different investigation currently being conducted, these messages would have never been found. Also, these messages do not pertain to myself or any other officer singled out any minority or prosecution. But still, what this guy is saying right here is that everybody talks like this at the Scranton Police Department. All the way from a patrolman, meter maids and all that shit, all the way up to supervisors. And not once do I recall anyone taking offense or trying to correct this behavior. So that's what I'm saying. So if this guy has been a cop for this many years with the same department, he hears this type of language all the time, even from supervisors. No one gets corrected about it. Last year, when they hired a black guy to the department, it was like newsworthy, where they had to put the shit in the newspaper and have a whole article about, oh, we hired a person of color. You already know it's a racist ass fucking police department. It just is. If they go around all day saying, yo, we got two niggas over there fighting or whatever, go lock these fucking porch monkeys up, these goddamn sand niggers, these chinks and spicks. Like, if that's how they talk all the time, and they can talk like that in front of their supervisors and nobody's reprimanded, there is no course of action or disciplinary procedures implemented. That's fucking crazy, yo. That's crazy. And then once again, like, when people ask me, like, so, Black Lives Matter and the riots and the protests, and it's like, how is it where you're at? How is it where you're at? And I'm like, that shit is not up here, honestly. Like, we haven't had, like, mad ass fucking, riots where businesses are being burnt down and lockdown fucking shits are implemented. It's I don't know, it just doesn't seem as bad as some other places. But then at the same time, when you look at the demographics, nothing new, just a different zip code. King, you already know what it is, bro, because they run this shit, bro. When you look at the demographics, so I'm just pull this shit up right now because I always do. Scranton, PA demographics. Scranton, PA demographics. All right, Scranton demographics. White, 83.83%. Black or African American, 6.8. Not even 0.8. 6.08%. Asians, 4.94%. Two or more races, mixed people, or biracial people, 3.48%. But they didn't list Spanish or Hispanics, non-Caucasians right here, because it's actually higher than the African American population. If there's 6.08% African Americans in this area, there's probably about 11% Spanish. But yeah, white, 83%, bro. It's the majority. Like, they run this shit around here. This is their little neck of the woods, and that's the kind of culture they got going on in their police department. So what we did last night was all 5 board members from the Black Scranton Project sat down and we drafted up our official letter. Here it is, right here. Oh, my Wi-Fi is moving so slow. Come on, Facebook. Come on, Facebook. All right. Like, we did this shit last night. You wanted to, because the news is going to announce something about this incident today, where there will be a a meeting taking place. Yo, what up? What up? Good morning, bro. Your non-sleeping ass. Uh, so we wanted to get that shit out last night because we already know like the newspaper is gonna run a story on that shit today. So we wanted to be ahead of the news and like everybody know like we've been up on this shit, yo. We posted our shit yesterday. So November the 10th, 2020. Statement in response to internal affair documents an investigation of the Scranton Police Department on racial behavior of the SPD. Black Scranton Project is aware of a social media post by DeJuan Sanders which sheds light on the internal police investigation of racism involving Thomas McDonald and Breonna Gifford, two former officers of the Scranton Police Department. In a recent press release from the mayor, we now know that this investigation ended with their termination. However, from the documents released by Mr. Sanders, the public can view the handwritten words of former officer McDonald. These types of comments are made on a daily basis here at the Scranton Police Department. This is the culture of this department, end quote. If this officer's words are valid, this department's if this officer's words are valid, this demonstrates a systemic ill that the Scranton Police Department has running through its veins. The dehumanization of people of color and other minority residents is not something that we can stand by and allow. This must be addressed and eradicated. We are taking action by organizing a roundtable discussion with Mayor Paige Conetti, Interim Police Chief Lieutenant Leonard Namatika, Black Scranton Project founder Glennis Johns, and other local POC leaders. The goal is to discuss racist and anti-black behavior within the department to create reform and move forward as a city. A virtual meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, November 11th at 5 p.m. More information will be available on our website, blackscranton.org. It will be available. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody signed it. Glennis Johns, founder, CEO, with an MA, and she has her MA in sociology. Alexander Lester with his MED in education, and he's our director of education. Travis Prince, the art director. I don't have any degrees by my name. Connie Bennett, director of community outreach. She doesn't have any degrees by her name. And Bettina Hobson, she has an MS in business, and she is the director of programming. So all of us put our names on this shit to let the whole city know that like we know what the fuck is going on. And just by this dude saying that shit, like this is how we talk, yo. This is commonplace. This is the culture of our police department. If you see a nigga, you say nigga. If you see an Arab motherfucker, you say sand nigga. You know what I'm saying? You see a Spanish guy, you call him a wetback or a beaner or whatever. And that's just how we talk. And so if that's how you view us as humans, well, you don't even view us as humans. You view us as less than humans, as all of these derogatory terms that you choose to pin on us, yo. And you're supposed to protect and serve. You can't do that. That's a direct cognitive dissonance. Like you can't see me as lesser, but still see enough humanity in me to protect and serve me. It's fucking stupid, yo. So we need more transparency with our police departments. We need to know what kind of social training you guys go through. And a couple weeks ago, the mayor did make another press release about allocating funds geared towards different types of training, interactive training with the police and the public. But how can we actually have legitimate input on new training tactics and procedures if we don't know how you're getting trained now? So y'all need some transparency. Like what kind of courses, classes do y'all even take right now to start with, if any, uh, to be more relatable and to the people in your communities. And then I don't know what kind of like ethnic and moral I don't even really fucking know, like, how can you train somebody to be a good person? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to be a cop and wear a badge and carry a gun and shit, but you just a fucking mean, like, nasty ass person. Like, how can you train a person not to be nasty, not to be neat, not to be mean, not to be a fucking racist? So I don't know. Me and my board members are supposed to have some more conversations today before the meeting takes place. I probably won't personally participate in the live meeting because I don't currently live in that city. I live, in the sister city right next door. But since it's an issue about their police department, we rather have the people who actually live in that city address their major concerns about becoming aware of how their police department sees their citizens, yo. So either way, this shit gonna be interesting as fuck tonight, yo. Can't wait on this shit. Yeah, but once again, I think like you need more people from. You need to recruit police officers from the actual neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Don't live in the on the outskirts of the city in the suburbs, then come to the west side and try to police the niggas. Why don't you, like, when I was talking to Senator Bob Casey, yo, I always found it weird because I've been anti-military my whole life. I just don't understand war and all this shit. But I still remember in high school, as early as like 10th grade, like you wasn't even a senior yet, but you have these fucking recruiters coming to the high schools, yo. Like the Army recruiters, the Navy recruiters, the Marines, and you have recruiting day, and they try to sign you up for ROTC and all this shit to like say, look, you don't have to go to college, man. Right after high school, man, you go straight into the military. And, they have recruiters for shit like that. But what about local law enforcement? Why don't local law enforcement go into the local schools and local communities and say, hey, when you graduate from high school, you can become a a public servant, a police officer in your neighborhood, and all the people you knew and you grew up with, and your you will protect and serve these people that you know and you understand because you're a part of that community. And why don't we have more recruiting programs like that going into the schools and telling the black and brown kids, you guys can be cops too, man, and help protect your own neighborhood, you know, and help, diminish some of the gang rivalry beefs and all this other shit, and encourage the drug dealers to go back to school and take classes in small business management and really utilize their their skills to the best of their ability, yo. Because if you can sell drugs, man, you can run a business, nigga. It's the same fucking thing. There is no difference. There is no difference. If you can sell drugs, you can run a little business. That's all it is, yo. So we need programs like this implemented in our community, and then a lot of the problems will correct itself, and then you won't have a bunch of white dudes running around your neighborhood calling you fucking nigger and shit. You know what I'm saying? And am I gonna be a cop? Nah, I will abuse my power. I already know that shit. Y'all seen Training Day? That would be me. I'm kicking in the door. I'm taking your money and your weed, nigga. You wanna go home or you wanna go to jail? That's what I thought. Yeah, yeah, and I can see too, cause like one of my homeboys, he's a black cop. You know what I'm saying? And he works in one of the big boroughs in New York. And then when I was locked up in Philly, man, you go to Philly, I was in CFCF. Everybody in that shit black, yo. All the COs, all the fucking clerks, and everybody who run the whole prison, and all the cops, everybody black, because Philly has a high African American population. You know what I'm saying? But and I ain't gonna lie, you like I don't know. I couldn't imagine a black cop being racist to a black cop. Kinda, I don't know. Like what movie that was? Boys in the Hood. Hate y'all niggas. But still though, I still would rather be policed by somebody who looks like me, who has some kind of understanding of the circumstances that I grew up in, instead of just some race warrior from the suburbs who loved hunting deer his whole life. Now I'm gonna hunt some real deer, some two-legged deer. That shit is crazy. The man said, his own words, everybody from patrolmen up to supervisors talk like this, and I've never heard anyone once try to correct it. Ever. This is just how we talk. I can say nigga in front of my supervisors, cause I locked 2 niggas up. And one saying nigga. You know, like, and nobody don't care. That's how we talk. That shit crazy, yo. And everybody's gonna say, oh, well, though the 2 officers whose cell phones those messages were on, they were terminated. Yeah, but they said it's a commonplace thing all the way up to supervisors. So who are these supervisors he was speaking of? Because ain't no supervisors get terminated. So who are all these other people running around saying nigga, spit, chink, and wetback and all this shit? Where these guys at? That's what we want to fucking know. And what is this department doing to weed these bad apples out of the batch? Yo, I'm telling you, bruh. That's why I got the fuck about that bitch, dog. I told I'll never go back to Philly. I'll never live in that city again, yo. It's bad. It'll take it'll take goddamn it'll take a generation of hard work in like the bad areas of Philly. It'll take a generation of hard work to pull them shits up, bro. You talking about 25 years, 30 years to pull some of them neighborhoods back up. They've been so gentrified, man, and been letting them shits decay and become dilapidated. Like you're saying, it's like a block, a whole block of abandoned buildings, abandoned houses. That shit is stupid. See, I live in Philly for a long time, bro. Southwest, 58th from Baltimore. Got down 55th and Whitby. That was my little. It is. It is, nigga. Like my first week, the first week I moved to Philly, I seen a murder, nigga. I'm like, what the fuck? I seen so many murders in Philly, yo. I seen 2 murders right in front of my face. I seen a dude kill a lady over $20, bruh. Shot this bitch in the head over $20 worth of crack. Now I seen this other shit, bruh. Motherfucker rode up on a bicycle, a drive-by shooting. You ever seen a drive-by on a bicycle? Yo, this nigga was on a bike, son. Rode up on a bicycle, blast this little kid, pow, 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 and just rolled off on a bike. I was like, yo, y'all Philly niggas is wild, boy. That's one of the craziest things. Drive-by shooting on a bike, my dude. I done got shot at just hanging with the wrong motherfuckers. They trying to kill this nigga. And I'm standing next to him. Like, oh my God, bro, you dangerous. He wound up getting killed. A couple weeks later, they say, found this nigga, like some of the front porches like enclosed. The front of the house, you walk in the front door, you think you're going in the house, but it's not. It's like a porch. And then you gotta go in another door to actually get in the house. So they found that nigga sitting on the front porch in the face 9 times. 9 times in the face. Bruh, they wanted his ass bad, boy. Uh, dog food. I feel you. I feel you because I actually kind of had an incident like that. But yeah, hold on. But one more story in Philly, yo. My homeboy, his little brother. Like if we was in our early 20s, so his little brother had to be like in his early teens, like 13 or 14. So the young boys, the two teenagers, they just in the park riding their four-wheelers and shit. They find a dead body, a lady with a belt around her neck. Yo, somebody done raped this bitch and choked her ass to death and just left her body in the fucking park. Yo, they come back hauling ass down the street. Man, they pull us out. Yo, call the cops, man. There's a body in the park. I'm like, what? Like, yo, bitch dead, yo. I'm like, traumatized as kids. You know what I'm saying? Shit be crazy, feeling crazy. But yeah, Philly, yeah. I'm saying I didn't had to shoot at niggas, and that's a disclaimer. That's all I say. But shit, niggas that made me shoot at they ass. That shit, bruh. After my my second year in Philly, I got a little pistol. That's how you get dressed. You put your shirt on, you put your pants on, you put your shoes on, you put your gun on, nigga. I ain't never left the house. I never felt safe ever. Really, really never felt safe in that city, yo. Not the neighborhood that I lived in. Like I never felt safe, bro. Just walking down the street or something. That's why I was. I don't know. Once again, the niggas is weird over there too. Like I hustled and got me a fucking car. Y'all niggas still out here walking this shit. I got me a car in my own spot. Y'all was living at home walking. Like fuck that. That's how you get robbed, walking down the street, nigga. But I know a couple cops from back home too, man. And one dude I went to high school with, this cat is a fucking cop. And I don't know, man. One night we was chilling on the block, and I had a little trap house, and my neighbors they had a little trap house, and it was my house. Then my neighbor house was the corner house. So literally, niggas is on the corner. You know what I'm saying? And we out there chilling and drinking, but we in the yard. We drinking in the yard, and motherfucking 3 cop cars pull up. Like, oh shit, what the fuck going on? Like they raiding some shit, yo. But we all good right now. Ain't nobody run, nothing, nigga. Nobody did, nobody moved. Like a couple cops got out the cars and shit. And one dude got out, nigga I went to high school with, big black dude. And like he was just in cop mode. That shit was so weird. Like, I mean, he was a cop. Like, he didn't even acknowledge that, bro, we've known each other since we were fucking kids, bro. Don't cop me, nigga. But he did it anyway. You, get over here. They was looking for somebody, and one of the homies in the squad fit the description. What's your name? Ba 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 ba. You have any ID? And then the dude looked at me. The cop, who I know, looked at me and said, "You, is he telling the truth?" He didn't say, "Yo, Travis," or nothing. Like, I was like, yeah, man, he's telling the truth. That's his real name and that's his address. He's telling the truth. and they left and shit. But I'm like, bro, they say they motherfucking, I don't know. He just acted so weird, like, and if it was like. If you would have been like friendly with me and my squad would have been like, yo, how you friendly with the cops? Like, nigga, I went to school with the dude. You know what I'm saying? I would have had my shit squared like that. Shit wouldn't have been no different way from me on my end. You know what I'm saying? But he just acted like a fucking cop. But I still think it's always, I don't know, man. I still feel like, but see, that's him, once again, in a mostly white police department. Once again, and that's, I think we need more and more officers from our own communities, yo. More black and brown officers, yo. Once again, because if you pull people from the community, then the police officer's wife, sister lives in that community, and her nephew is the one who may have a run-in with the cops. And that's how the white kids do it, and that's why they get out of so much trouble, because, oh, that's my neighbor's nephew's cousin or some dumbass shit. We don't have that 7 degrees of separation where we can get a little pass because we know these kids, and yeah, he had a little bit of weed on him. Man, yeah, you know, it's look, man, throw the weed away, go home. Don't let me catch you out here no more. You know what I'm saying? We don't get passes like that because we don't know nobody. The white boy gets passes like that all the time. He had a little coke on him. You know, ain't you Robert's son or nephew? Man, look, get your ass the fuck out of here. You know? We need more of that shit for ourselves to keep us off the records and keep us out the fucking books as long as we can. Blue privilege. I had that shit happen. I really seen it one time, yo. Back home, my homeboy, my best friend to this day, his grandfather was actually the chief of police for a long time. Black dude. The chief of police for a long time.